my beautiful people, it's your girl Yana, and I'm back today with yet another video. And today, you and I are going to be taking a look at a bunch of videos that are guaranteed to give you full body chills. And I am not joking, guys, when I tell you these videos are really freaking scary. So if you're ready, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it.
A stranger in Phoenix, Arizona waits outside patiently for someone to leave so that he can gain access to an apartment complex he does not live in. He soon targets a random woman and follows her onto an elevator, getting off on the same floor. Moments later, he is running from her unseen friends after allegedly trying to advance upon her in the hall. He switches into a new pair of clothes on the way down so that police won't be able to track him based on what witnesses said he was wearing. Little does he know that a camera is watching his every move, including his new outfit. He gets away this time and probably will try to do something like this again. He seems well practiced and probably sees this as a game instead of thinking about the psychological damage he caused that night and how that poor woman must feel after going through something like this.
I mean, this guy is a full-blown criminal. Thank God that girl had some friends over so that they were able to chase that creep away. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened. Clearly, this guy is capable of some really messed up stuff if he was ready to break into someone's apartment complex and then follow them up to their actual apartment. Not to mention, he was wearing a t-shirt underneath so he could quickly take off what he was wearing and change the way he looked, which only tells me that he was planning to do this. I really hope they catch this guy because that is so freaking messed up.
Look at him.
This is a really humorous and random situation, but let's face it. If a wild seabird were to land on you, I don't think many of us would be able to take it with a smile like this brave cameraman does. He makes no sudden movements, not wanting to attract the bird's hungry gaze or its beak to his fingers. Believe it or not, I looked up pelican-human encounters and found out that the sides of its beak are razor sharp, so this situation could have actually gone wrong quick. I don't know whether this pelican wanted to take some of his fingers or take a rest, but it seems to realize it's outnumbered and takes off.
I'll be honest with you guys, if this happened to me, I would be so freaking scared. I'm not a big fan of birds as it is. I don't know why, they just really scare me. Not to mention a bird this size with a beak that literally looks ginormous. Yeah, I would definitely start freaking the hell out. I am so impressed by how calm he was being. He was even smiling. To be fair, I don't really know how badly the seagull could have hurt him, but I also don't want to find out.
A ghost hunting crew named Full Moon Inc. Paranormal Investigators are certain they've caught some paranormal activity surrounding a cursed mirror recently purchased at a yard sale. Here's their evidence. A ghost does seem to unclasp the lock. The only way to fake this is with a string, which would be fairly easy to detect at close range, especially against the dark wood. Within a month, the ghost seems to have spread from the haunted mirror and into the kids' room. The Full Moon Inc. investigators are shocked to see a stuffed animal moving on its own. They suspect the toy is haunted by a ghost trying to play with them. The toy on top barely moves. Was the object moved by a ghost or by one of the paranormal investigators hiding behind?
The bear one, definitely creepy. However, for a ghost to fully unlock a closet, I don't know. I'm not saying it couldn't have happened. I'm just saying the chances are very slim.
The Old South Pittsburgh Hospital in Tennessee is one of the most haunted hospitals on Earth. So much so that it's been officially designated as a paranormal research center on Google. Almost everyone that goes there has a paranormal experience. Take a YouTube channel called Lost Souls Paranormal, for example. One of the few research teams brave enough to go exploring the haunted hospital's basement. An investigator named Bailey splits from the group, and this is what he records underground. Running footsteps are coming from all directions and are possibly even in the same room that he is. Suddenly, the idea of ghost hunting isn't as fun as it was 5 minutes ago, and so he doesn't go any further.
I'm very glad he didn't go any further because those footsteps were clear as day. It actually sounded like somebody was in the room with him, and obviously no one was there, so how the hell do you explain that? Other than the fact that this entire place is haunted, which I do not doubt whatsoever, considering it's literally an abandoned hospital. I bet you that place is full of ghosts.
This is enough paranormal evidence to convince me, but let me know if you think it was his friends making the noise. Years prior, another paranormal investigator named L.W. Drums was close to the same spot of the hospital and experienced strange ghost activity as well.
Come on now, you're being really boring with us.
The voice of somebody who isn't there mocks the investigator with an exaggerated sigh, and a shadow appears at around this time too.
Come on now, you're being really boring with us. Something just touched my head. Ooh.
I cannot imagine being in a haunted hospital and fully feeling something touching your head. I have a feeling they might have hissed the ghost off a little bit when they were taunting it, saying that it was being boring. I bet you the ghost was like, oh yeah, I'm boring. I'll show you some paranormal activity. As for the shadow, I'm not too sure. I feel like that could have just been a part of their crew that walked in front of a light and it cast a shadow that looked like it might have been something paranormal. But again, we don't really have a way of proving that.
Something jabs him from behind. When he turns around, the mysterious camera goes out of focus like something is right up on the lens, and I don't know if this is a third member of the team, but at 29 seconds, a mysterious figure is definitely just sitting on the other side of the room staring at them.
I'm almost 100% positive that that is a member of the crew. He seems to just be sitting and hanging out, and I feel like if it wasn't a part of their crew, they definitely would have said something and been like, yo, who the freaking hell is that?
Chris Hopkins goes exploring a haunted mental asylum close to 3 a.m. called Forest Haven. As the name implies, they have to cut through a forest on foot to get there, and that's when their troubles begin.
That was somebody.
Yeah. We're walking down the trail. We just heard someone right over there.
Chris turns on his flashlight and soon sees a mysterious light in return. They play flashlight tag for a while until they discover a group of other people who, while friendly, claim to be ghost hunters on a quote-unquote another mission.
Yo, we just met up with these guys.
Hey,
Yo, these were some of the guys we were in here. What's up, man?
actual ghost hunter, but we on another mission right now.
They don't think much of the comment and join together to go exploring the abandoned mental hospital. As they get to talking, the strangers kneel down and show what their special mission really is: to take copper from wires and sell it for money. They are around some shady people in an abandoned building who have sharp instruments and are looking for valuable equipment, like their expensive cameras. Thinking fast, Chris walks back to get his friends.
This definitely took an extremely sketchy turn. It looks like they ran into these other guys, and at first they seemed totally cool, but it turns out they are some shady characters. They are not out ghost hunting. They're out trying to steal metal from this abandoned hospital. I really think it might be best for these guys to just pack it up and leave, because at the end of the day, you're in an abandoned place with a bunch of people you don't know. Who freaking knows what could happen?
Dude, come out here and listen to all these birds. Listen to all these birds.
They don't say a word and awkwardly walk away, which is the right choice. Who knows what would have happened to them if they stayed around?
Actually, it was very smart of him to mention the birds to get his friend to come out so he could low-key tell him they needed to get the hell away from them. Absolutely genius move on their end, because if these guys were up to no good, you wouldn't want to tip them off that you know that they're up to no good. Otherwise, that might piss them off. Thankfully, it looks like they got out of there and away from those shady guys.
A man is quietly fishing by himself, making content for his fishing channel called East Coast Fishing fishing adventures, completely unaware that he is being watched from afar. Partially concealed in the leaves is a person who is not with him and doesn't have a fishing rod. They just sit on a rock and don't move at all, just watching. The uploader gets the feeling that this is a ghost sighting, and it makes me wonder if he's sitting at the spot where somebody went under and sadly never resurfaced.
I'm not sure if that's a ghost sighting. I feel like more likely is just a really weird person staring at him. But considering he doesn't even have a fishing rod, it really makes you think why the hell he's even out there, especially dressed like that. I mean, clearly he's trying to blend in with his surroundings, and it's only making him look even more creepy. And also the fact that he wasn't moving at all. I don't know, there's just something so creepy about that.
A father and son are bonding outdoors when they make a discovery in a puddle that's so bizarre they have to bring it home and make a video of what they've caught on camera.
So I kind of looked at the little creatures that were in there, and at my first glance they're round and have a tail just like a tadpole.
The mysterious creatures have a long tail and 2 eyes that are especially visible at 1 minute and 22 seconds. Baby horseshoe crabs were my guess, but when I googled a picture it looked different. So what do you think they are?
How did they end up in a puddle? I don't know, that just feels like a really random place for them to be, especially if these guys aren't anywhere near a big body of water. Like, what did they just summon into existence? Let me know if you guys know what these creatures are, if they're some sort of fish or something. I personally am not very knowledgeable about fish, so I cannot tell. All I know is I would not go anywhere near those things.
A group of friends loudly proclaim their disbelief as a slow-moving object flies across Los Angeles.
Hey, it's from a different dimension.
It's from a different dimension, one of them jokes, but according to the uploader's own words, they felt a strange energy overwhelm them as the object passed overhead. The object is really large to be that size. From such a far distance away, it's too big to be a commercial airliner, not to mention perfectly round and solid black. They are able to track it for over 2 minutes as it grows smaller on the horizon, and just before they can no longer see a thing, it blinks out of existence in a mysterious flash of light. The odd sighting in the sky occurred on October 4th of 2020 and is yet to be properly explained. The uploader says this was from another world, and it looks like he might be right.
Okay, so this is actually a pretty recent recording. Initially, I thought it could have been a plane or a helicopter because there's actually a ton of helicopters constantly flying over LA. However, if it was a helicopter, I feel like there would be lights on it, and it seems like there's no lights until it's completely far in the distance. I don't really want to jump to a conclusion and say that it's a UFO or something crazy like that, because it probably isn't. It's probably like a really big drone or something like that. I do find it very bizarre though that there is not a single light on it, and I do wish the footage was a little clearer so we could see exactly what it looks like. I'd definitely be super confused if I ever saw something like that.
Jackal365 goes exploring his old creepy attic the day after hearing scary noises all night. 1 minute and 55 seconds is when something is caught moving on camera. He reaches the back of the attic and strains his eyes in the darkness to see it.
See anything?
A face drops down in front of the camera. Apparently the creature was hanging above him the whole time. He could have simply held a mannequin head upside down in front of the camera to create that effect, but his terrified squeal says otherwise.
Okay, that kid definitely sounded terrified. However, I do find it interesting that he starts screaming before he even turns around, almost as if he was expecting something to be there. So I don't know. I'm not saying this is fake, but all I'm saying is it's a bit bizarre. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think there was actually somebody hovering right above him, or is this just another skit? I will say, if it is a skit, his acting is really good, because the way he was screaming, he genuinely sounded horrified.
Junior Tour 1 helps his father move a table, and only when they put it down does he notice something he wishes he never caught on camera.
And we picked it up under here, and we carried it out, and when I flipped it over, guess what I discovered? And I stuck my hands under there,
From the view at 36 seconds, it's easy to see how the spider stayed hidden from view. The circled area is where the spider is, and also exactly where he grabbed the table to lift it. For better context, this is where his fingers were, and of course you already know where the spider is. He thinks this is a wolf spider, but someone else claims this to be a dark fishing spider. This is a fierce debate in the comments section of the video, so let's see if we can settle the issue here.
Listen, I do not know what kind of spider that is, nor do I care what kind of spider that is, because regardless, it is absolutely disgusting looking. Why the hell is it that damn big? If I was moving a table and I looked around and saw that my fingers were that close to whatever that monster is, I would actually be horrified.
There is actually no wind.
That's really still. What's that noise?
Scary noises are coming from the end of a dark alleyway. Scary noises that sound more like a creature than a human.
Right, I don't want to go down.
You've got night vision. You go down.
How do you get the night vision?
You just press the button on the side of the camera.
Oh my. It's someone's telly? Pete, it's someone's telly.
He turns on the night vision just in time to catch the flash of two large eyes the size of dinner plates and maybe 7 or 8 feet from the ground. They call out into the darkness and are greeted by a snarling creature that is finally caught on video.
We want to find out.
First, the eyes are visible once more at 1 minute and 17 seconds, moments before it comes at them. And right before they drop the camera to run, there is a blur of a mysterious creature on all fours running them down.
Lisa's not dog behind us now.
Okay, what the hell is that? The noises definitely sounded really scary. It sounded like some sort of monster or creature. Definitely didn't sound like an animal or a human being, that is for sure. However, I didn't really see the glowing eyes. I only saw one light shining, but again, it was just one light. It didn't look like eyes. And I actually didn't really catch a glimpse of whatever creature it was. So I don't know if it was just too dark or if there was nothing there to begin with. Regardless, those sounds are pretty difficult to explain because again, it definitely did not sound human whatsoever. So my question is, what the hell could that be?
This creepy picture has been freaking out the internet in recent months. A man in all white stands motionless on the other side of a fence in the forest, hands at his sides, and there's something about his eerie eyes, or lack thereof, that made people feel extra uneasy. I've been looking for a source of his picture because I've seen it featured on other channels, and I finally discovered where this photo is from. This is actually a still frame taken from a popular television series called Doctor Who. The character is called the Watcher. This photo is commonly shared in the Spanish-speaking countdown community, and maybe those YouTubers aren't aware of the show. So if you've ever seen this photo on a different list, now you know where it's from.
Okay, so thank God it is not a real photo. I mean, it is real, but it's from a TV show. So no one actually came across that thing. Thank God, because it looks absolutely terrifying. The lack of facial features is really creepy as well. Definitely the type of picture that would come back to haunt you in your nightmares. But all right, you guys, we finally made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Let me know in the comments which one of these clips scared you the most. Honestly, I'm gonna say the first one was the scariest, where the guy followed the girl into the elevator and up to her apartment. Thank God somebody was there to chase him away. But out of all of these, this one is definitely the scariest because things like that happen, and it must have been an absolutely terrifying situation for the girl to be in. Again, I really hope they catch that guy because clearly he is seriously messed up and he needs to be locked away. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.